The WHO is urging people to reduce the amount of sugar they consume, and to that end, it's looking to change its guidelines on sugar consumption. The agency says reducing sugar to no more than 5% of daily caloric intake would be optimal. Until now, guidelines were set at less than 10%. This new target would mean individuals could consume about 6 teaspoons of sugar daily. Now, to give you an idea, a can of pop has around 10 teaspoons of sugar. The new draft guidelines are subject to global public consultation until the end of the month. Then the agency will finalize its proposal. So what does all this mean and what can we do about it? Let's bring in Olya Voikin, a registered dietitian here in Vancouver. Okay, so I thought until today I was doing a good job paying attention to calories and carbohydrates, but honestly, never sugar. I feel like a little overwhelmed by this.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's been overlooked in Canada for a long time. And I think that setting specific limits on sugar consumption is long overdue in Canada. I work with a lot of clients and I always tell them to reduce sugar as much as possible, but I find it's really tricky in our population because of, constantly eating out and having processed foods.
Well, it's funny, when I was at the Olympics, I have a protein bar usually for breakfast, feeling pretty good about it, high in protein, low in carbs, and then the producer I was working with took one look at it and said, the sugar content is through the roof. This is a huge mistake you're making. Am I supposed to now go into the store, into the grocery store, and try to figure out how much sugar is in everything I buy?
Not how much sugar in everything you buy, but that's definitely something that people need to start being conscious about. So reading the nutrition label, there are several ways to try and reduce the sugar, especially the added sugar in your diet.
Do you have some simple guidelines for people?
Yes, definitely. So I have 4 things that I always tell my clients. I'm always going with whole foods rather than processed foods. So for example, if you have a chicken breast with barbecue sauce and pasta with tomato sauce, that's easily just from the barbecue sauce and pasta sauce, which seem like healthy options, 25 grams of sugar right there. If you just used olive oil, garlic, herbs, spices, made your own sauce, used pesto, you've eliminated 25 grams right there.
Okay, so
very simple.
Whole foods, simple whole foods, yeah.
Yeah. Second thing would be reading the nutrition label and remembering that you have about a 25-gram maximum budget per day. So always looking at the grams on the nutrition label, as well as looking at red flags in the ingredients list for something like high fructose corn syrup, because that's associated with high risk of diabetes, liver disease, obesity. So that's something to worry about as well. The third thing I always say is avoid drinking your liquid sugar. So a lot of our kids are drinking chocolate milk as a healthy
chocolate
alternative.
Milk has been sold to a lot of kids as being a great workout drink. You would say, the registered dietitian would say, no.
So for a kid that's highly active, so say that he's doing sports and running around on the field for 2 hours, I don't think a chocolate milk is going to hurt him. This is for the general public that's drinking chocolate milk, or general kids that drinking chocolate milk every single day at school, maybe 1 or 2, as well as they're having juice, as well as they're having pop, as well as they're having desserts and sweets. They can easily get 25% of their caloric needs from added sugar.
And I know you have a 4th thing, but I'm going to jump ahead if I may and say, some of these things we'd kind of figure on this table, obviously loaded in sugar.
Yes.
Some of them a little surprising, like not only ketchup, you talked about that, but like this is organic yogurt. This is good for me.
I know, yeah. I used to buy this, and then I looked at the sugar content, and it was 23 grams per serving. And your daily budget is 25, so you can really see it right there. What you normally do is you get plain yogurt that's not added, no added sugars, and then you add in your frozen blueberries, leave it in the fridge overnight, and in the morning it's blueberry yogurt.
You make it seem so easy, because I think if we follow these guidelines, it is 25 a day, right?
Yeah,
25 grams?
25 a day, if you can. If you can't, of course, if it's a more realistic goal to go with 30 or 40, then any reduction is going to be good for your health.
Olya Voikin, thank you very much for speaking to us. Nice having you on the show.
Wonderful.